Here's a message to sit on. The kind of year you want to have is within your grasp. My next guest is going to set us up for a year you will love. Think of it like your 2024 pep talk from a girlfriend we all love. Studio 5's Kelly Jensen says there are 3 things you can do today that will set your life on a positive course. Can I still say Happy New Year?
I think so.
I mean, we're still in the first month.
I mean,
it's one of my favorite greetings. Happy New Year.
Yes.
It just feels so fresh,
I think all the way till March.
Permission taken. Permission
yes.
granted, permission given. These are sort of like empowering little life lessons, kind of a you've got this sort of a vibe.
I think so. I think we've got to know where we're going. And we've got to be intentional about it. And so hopefully these are some kind of hard-hitting things that only your girlfriend can tell you, and we'll get on our way.
These aren't physically challenging, but I will say, looking over your list, they will take some thoughtfulness, like some mental energy, emotional energy too.
I think for me these days, everything does, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it true? Like, we have to be really intentional. I have to think about, I have so many things going on, and I think we all do, that if I want something to change or I want to make an impact, then I have to be really intentional about it.
All right, here's the first intentional step. You say we can teach people how to treat us.
Absolutely. Let's make this the year where we mean what we say and we say what we mean.
Amen, sister.
There is nobody inside our head that is, telling everybody this is how she likes to be apologized to. This is the best gift to give her. I mean, how many of us, for example, for Christmas, how many of us got exactly what we wanted for Christmas? And those that did probably had a list or told somebody what would make them happy.
Or bought it themselves.
Right? But the truth of the matter is that people don't know how to love us best. And we can so easily scaffold that. It doesn't have to be something that's contentious. It doesn't have to be, mean. It can honestly be like, hey, when mom is struggling, I've put on my wall here 10 things you could do to help change my mood or help make me happy. Why not scaffold those things for the people we love and that love us to help them know just a little bit better how to love us? It doesn't mean that we can control if they choose to do it or not, but we can clear the path a little bit and we can make it easier.
Under the umbrella of our girlfriend guide, that was a great example, kind of mother to child, or even I think wife to husband. What might I say to a girlfriend, Kelly, that would help communicate how I want to be treated or how I want to be befriended?
That's a great question. And I think there's 2 ways. We can lead with our words and we can tell them this is what I like, or we can set a great example. I feel like I have learned so much about how to love my girlfriends best by the way they treat me. I have a girlfriend who shows up at my door every single time with something that is a thoughtful little gift. That's her. It's easy for her. She can think of it. I have another one that lives in California that she puts things in the mail. I'm not great at either of those things, but I have learned that they choose to show me love that way, which means they probably really appreciate that. And so I would say, model the behavior that you want from other people.
Show them. Teach them through action.
Absolutely.
It's what we do in mothering all the time.
Absolutely.
It's what we can do girlfriend to girlfriend. I love that example of taking cues from how they are treating us. This next piece of life advice, this girlfriend boost, speaks to any woman out there who is trying to tackle a big goal or an overwhelming resolution, if we want to use that word. You say, just take a bite.
Just take a bite. Just take a step towards that direction. Just make one small change, and it can happen in anything. If you're trying to change your eating habits, just change this one meal. If you want to be more organized, just organize this one drawer. Sometimes we think of these things as great big elephants in the room, but just start taking bites out of the life that you want to have. And it is scientifically proven that the more you do that, the more you trust yourself, the more you believe in yourself, the more discipline that you're building. That next step is easier because you've already done it. And then you're not setting this huge thing like, I want to work out every single day for a month. You're saying, I'm going to set my clothes out the night before, and I'm going to scaffold a place in my day like an appointment. like I would an appointment, and I'm going to show up for that. Those little things building on each other can create the effort for these habits that we want to change.
I love that you're using the word scaffold,
Oh.
right? Like I picture those traditional metal bars going up in front of a New York City apartment, like that firm foundation, those little poles adding together for something really stable and really solid.
And this is what I concentrated on last year for kind of my family motto. I wanted to scaffold the life that we want, which means clearing the path, making it easy, setting up foundations that make the next step easier. Sometimes I think we forget and we have a lofty goal and there's nothing underneath it to balance it out. But the more we scaffold it, the more we think about it and think, what is it gonna take to get here? And it really is those little bites that we're talking about. It's these little efforts that build upon each other and make that strong foundation. And then you see those steps you make and pretty soon you're this far. You're this far into that life you want.
I don't think I've asked you in all the years I've known you, do you set resolutions? Are you a word of the year girl? What do you do?
I do set resolutions.
Do you?
And I don't have a problem with, I think the reason resolutions work for me is because I have a lot of grace for myself. Like if I don't reach something, I really look at it, yeah, but I did this drawer and I did this closet and I did this and my whole house isn't organized, but I definitely have some of these things.
I took that bite.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes it easier because, then when I think we've got to do that. We are so busy that if we don't take a second to see how far we've come or the effort that we've put in, then, we'll never see our life as positive because we're always going to fall short. And I'm into looking at things like, this is a really beautiful life that we get to live. And just because we didn't make it all the way to here, this whole part of what we're in has been beautiful.
So celebrate the bite.
It's the gratitude in it.
Yeah, don't just take the bite, but be thankful for it.
Absolutely.
Celebrate it.
If you don't acknowledge the bite that you've taken, then, and honestly, I was talking to my daughter about this. I'm like, if your goal is to eat healthy and you want that brownie, take that bite and celebrate that one bite, and you're still taking your eating plan, you're still taking a bite out of that life you want because you're not eating the whole pan of brownies like you may have if you hadn't thought of it that way.
Your final little rah-rah here I love so much because I think very few women are willing to say this out loud with the bold passion and conviction that I know you will. We want life to be easy ultimately. We're looking for the shortcuts or even the scaffolding that will make life smoother. You say easy doesn't equal happy and we should start squaring our shoulders toward hard choices.
Absolutely. Let's run at that storm. Our motto for our family this year is hard choices now, easier life. Easy choices now, harder life. And it really does come down to these bites that we're taking. We can make a stand now that will make our life easier then. We can wake up at 5 a.m. because we know that's the time we're going to be able to work out in this season of life. And further down the road, we will be in a habit of exercising because we made that hard choice now. We can show up for our practices or our meetings every single time so that people will depend on us in the future and we may get, an opportunity we wouldn't have gotten. Definitely, I think understanding what you value and what kind of life you want, you can make those hard choices and know that it's going to pay off in the future.
I just got the feel-good chills that I've learned to listen to and learn from. Kelly Jensen, we love you. We adore you. Thank you for sharing your heart with us.
Thanks
always.
for having me.